David Teague at the Blues. It was a promising first half and then it fell away yesterday. Cara, you didn't love the rivalry discussion in the lead up to this game.
Well, I don't want to get too Freudian about this, but Carlton v Collingwood is always a massive game, and I was really surprised, and I think Carlton people were too, that David Teague was so determined to talk it down. Let's have a listen to him first.
It's another game. It's an important game, but it's a game we've prepared well for. I get it, the tradition, the rivalry, but we live in the now, to be honest. So right now we've got a game to prepare for.
There's a bit of spark around the fact it's a Collingwood-Carlton game. I was hearing from mates of mine that I didn't even know barrack for Carlton. You know, over the last couple of days, they were looking forward to the game. They thought they were going to go well, but I'll be getting back to them in the next 2 to 23 hours.
Now, in fairness, that was after the win that Nathan said that, and they usually do perform pretty well against Carlton.
You love the romance and the history of the game, but David Teague's comments, there's nothing wrong with those.
Is there something in the back of his mind that is saying he doesn't want to talk up the game too much because they haven't won games this year that they should have won? They've won 6 games. It hasn't been a bad year. But I would argue that it's wrong, as Michael Gleeson wrote in The Age on Monday today, that this is not a young midfield. This is an experienced midfield. And experience up forward and some up back, they should have done better.
Yeah, they couldn't have got a better chance, I don't think, to beat Collingwood when there's no steel side bottom, Treloar, Howe, De Goey, and they failed miserably, Kane, in that second half when so much was at stake and they were found wanting after half-time.
Yeah, they were, and it was the players driving Collingwood forward that have improved. You know, like Crisp and Maynard and these types of players. Adams, that middle tier, 25 years of age, 100 games. Where's that from Carlton? So where's the improvement coming from that rung underneath the Cripps and Simpson and the players, Doherty, they've been there for a while. So I just think year on year, who's improved at the Blues? Wiedering tick, Sam Walsh tick, and then I'm struggling to find for players who should be in that really strong development stage where they're improving big time year on year. They haven't had that development, and that's why they're sitting 12th on the ladder once again this year.
Well, they're two big ticks, Wiedering and Walsh, in fairness. They've had great years, but this is going to be where all the debate sits, is what they do with the 30-pluses. You put this on the agenda last week, Lord Owen. They are getting games ahead of O'Brien and Paddy Dow and some players that are only going to develop if they play. And I wonder if you... Now, they obviously think this season's alive and well, but if it isn't, what is the point of playing these guys? Well, Cruiser obviously not playing there as the exception. And Eddie Betts going to be the fascinating one. He's very close to the coach.
Yeah.
How does this play out?
He wants to play another year.
Yeah, for me, I think Murphy and Curnow are the two, and Casbolt are the three that stand out, but I think the ones that are under most pressure there. Kade Simpson, I think now at 36 years of age, he has probably dropped off a fair bit this year. Eddie Betts in that role that he plays, and Matthew Cruiser due to injuries. They're the 3 big decisions that David Teague has to make at season end, and I wouldn't be surprised if all 3 of them weren't at the club, if Carlton thought, no, they're not going to be part of our next premiership team. We have to make some hard calls because, for me, next year, pressure is on David Teague big time and that Carlton group to play finals because they're in that... the time has come.
They weren't far off. There were some moments in that third quarter which could have gone either way.
You say the rivalry's a romantic thing. They were angry. The supporters were angry after this loss, and we're having a look now.
Yeah, this is Caro. They're 8 points up, and that's where I just thought they just lost their way. So Collingwood, this one here from Betts, 35 metres out, didn't make the distance. 8 points up, 9 minutes to go. Now Pitnet obviously picks it up, hits the post. That wasn't his fault. Obviously, been great if he went through. This from Martin. Go back, being paid a lot of money, kicked the goal from 45, 50 metres. He tried to pass it off and they didn't score a goal for the rest of the game. So Collingwood won the big moments late through to the heroics of Taylor Adams and those type of players.
And the captain has got the yips with his kicking.
Yeah. This is something, Hutchie, that I don't know who's working with him at Carlton, but this has just been gone on and on. He's kicked 5 goals, 10 for the season, and he's got a stutter within his routine that if he wants to be a great of the game, he won't get there. I know Dangerfield misses a lot too, but Dangerfield's got that explosive power that Cripps hasn't got. So this is round 5. It's just the big shots that he's missing at critical times.
They're not wildly missing, are they?
That doesn't matter, Hutchie, if they're wildly missing or they're missing. He's missing. And at crucial times in games, you've got to kick them. This one, you just got to kick on the road, not kicking them, Kane. So
what
it's
is
something
it, a technique,
that...
confidence?
Yeah, it's a technique. He's got the wrong technique, steers through it, stabs at it, and I just keep waiting for an adjustment, and nothing is changing with his set shot, Kane.
And I've got some sympathy for him. I think Carlton have hung him out to dry a little bit. He's been their sole bull in the midfield for a long time now, and I reckon he's really tiring. And if you compare his numbers this year to some of the lesser lights in the midfield, right now, Patrick Cripps wouldn't be in the top 12 to 15 midfielders I would pick, and you wouldn't have said that last year. He would have been in the top 3. And if you can compare him to a second-year player like Bailey Smith, I know they play different roles, but this is the output you're
comparing
getting from
Patrick
Smith.
Cripps to Bailey Smith, Kane. Seriously.
Well, I am, Hutchie. It could have
career.
been any player. It could have been Ollie Wines. It could have been Jack Steele. It could have been Christian Petrarca. All of their numbers will come out in front of Patrick Cripps. I wouldn't, Hutchie. I've got it written down. I'd go Dangerfield, Fife, Neal, Bontempelli, Steele, Petrarca, Smith, Martin, Shield, Kelly. I'll keep going if you want me to. They're all performing better right now than Patrick Cripps, and it's not his fault, I don't think.
But you've been tough on him for a long time. You've been chipping away at him for 2-3 years now, Patrick Cripps.
No, I think I said on the Footy Show about 18 months ago that I think him and Bontempelli are going to be the best midfielders in the game, but he looks tired. And Carlton's management of him and the way that they just continually put him in the midfield. Look at what Justin Longmire's doing with Fife. It's not 95% midfield. It's 30% forward. Let's put you in the midfield. Look at what Damien Hardwick does with Dustin Martin. Look what Goodwin's now doing with a young Christian Petrarca. He cannot carry this midfield for another 6 years like he's been doing for 7. And this is the performance and this is the reward you're getting from it. A player who had 94 metres gain on the weekend and was ineffective.